Hi, this is Marcy Hurst, your instructor, and today we are going to work through Chapter 1 in your Adobe Illustrator Classroom in a Book text. A quick note about the homework. As you can see, the actual homework assignments aren't worth very much. They're only worth 5 points. The purpose of the homework, however, is to teach you how to use the software so that you can then show off your skills that you learned on the projects. So if you don't work through the homework assignments, then you won't learn how to use the tools, and therefore you won't be able to do very much on your projects. So it's really important that you work through these each week and then write about your experience in the blog. In the blog, I'm looking for specific details that show me that you actually worked through the homework. Did you find a particular task difficult? Did you struggle with it? What was your resolution to your struggle? And if you don't give me specific details, then you won't get those 5 points. And though 5 points isn't very much, it will add up over the course of our time together. I first want to talk about why we use Adobe Illustrator in graphic design. Adobe Illustrator uses vector graphics, which are vector shapes and vector objects that are made up of lines and curves defined by mathematical objects called vectors, which will describe an image according to its geometric characteristics. We use Adobe Illustrator because you can freely move or modify vector graphics without losing detail or clarity. That means they can be blown up, they can be shrunk down, and they'll always have the same quality. Unlike in Photoshop, when you blow up an image past its ideal resolution, things tend to get blurry and pixelated. This won't happen with Adobe Illustrator. So it's the best choice for artwork such as logos that'll be used in various sizes and in various output media. So that's why we use Adobe Illustrator. Now, your first chapter, Getting Started and Getting to Know the Work Area, is really just giving you a tour around the work area in Illustrator. I'm not going to work through all of the exercises for you, but there were a few things that I want to point out. First of all, you need to download the files from PeachPit. So you should have had an access code with your book, and that will allow you to download the files. So each week you will be working on their files. I don't need to see these files once you've completed them. I will just go by what you wrote in the blog. Again, this is for you to learn how to use the software, and if you don't do the work and try to get by somehow, then it will show in the project. So I'm really not interested in following up whether or not you did the homework. Because I will know once I see your project and how good or not so good it may be. So you'll open up their files, and that's what you'll be working with. They've already created these files for you so that you can alter things or try new things with them based on the tools that you're learning this week. So this week you'll be learning about the workspace. For example, the tool panel, which is over here, that has all of your tools listed in it. You also have the control panel, which is up here. I actually have Adobe Illustrator Creative Suite version 6 instead of Creative Cloud, which you guys have. So you might see a few things that look a little bit different than what you're seeing on your screen. And it will also mean that there are some things that I can't do that you guys can do because what you have is the upgraded version. However, I can walk you through most of it. So as we go through the chapter, we're learning about all the various panels and how you can expand them or move them around into a place that is more comfortable for you to access. So if you're frequently accessing the tool panel and you don't like it here over on the left, then you can undock it and move it wherever you want. You can expand it depending on your screen size, etc. And so that's what you're learning most about in this first chapter. One thing to make note of is that your control panel is based on the tool that you have selected. So notice that when I switch over to different tools, the control panel switches and allows you to adjust different settings with that particular tool. The other thing I want to point out is that you can always find, if you've accidentally closed some of these panels, you can always find everything under Window. So if you go to Window, it'll show a little check mark next to the things that are actually already open. So if you've lost something, just click on it and then it'll appear over somewhere in your workspace. The next thing that we talk about in this chapter is how to navigate around your artwork. And there are a couple of different tools that you can use for that, located down here in the bottom of the tool panel. Excuse me. The first one is your zoom tool, and you can use this to zoom in and out of your artwork. Let's say you wanted to get in for some reason real tight here, you can also draw a marquee around that area and that'll blow that up to your artwork. You can use the Alt Option key on a Mac to zoom back out. You can also always just double click on the hand and that will bring you to fit into the window. The hand tool is then used to drag your artwork around on the artboard, and you can then zoom in or do whatever you need to do once you've moved it. There's also some directions on how to save your workspace. So once you get it all arranged the way you want, you can then save that and that'll appear up in your workspace windows up here. These are the ones that are automatically set up, and then you can also reset them at any time if you mess it up so badly that you need to get back to what it originally defaulted was. And that's pretty much it for Chapter 1. Moving around multiple artboards as well. That is actually one function I cannot do in version 6, so you'll have to explore that one on your own. Work through the entire chapter and let me know if you have any questions. You can always email me or you can post questions on the blog.